Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Under Wraps 2. This is the sequel to the 2021 uh, original film. I guess that was a Disney Plus original as well. But this is a sequel, of course, and just came out like a few weeks ago at the end of September, just in time for Halloween month. And it's a month now. The whole holiday's a month long. So yeah, this obviously 2022. It's an hour and 23 minutes, and it's a comedy. Of course, it is. Yes, it's horror for kids. There's really nothing as an adult nothing that's scary. I don't think kids would find it scary. You tend to forget that it's basically kids who are friends with corpses, animated corpses that know how to dance and love hot sauce and pizza, or just hot sauce and everything, including pizza and wedding cake. Yeah. So I'll get to that in a minute. But this stars the same cast. It has three teenagers who, well, I guess they're young teenagers, I guess, or I don't know. Yeah, like junior high kids. Like all the movies tend to be junior high kids on Disney Plus, on Disney Channel, Disney Plus, and their nerdy adult friend who facilitates them getting around. She's basically the chauffeur, but she's nerdy and she's knowledgeable, and she drives a hearse, and her name is what is her name? Buzzy. Yeah, Buzzy. But everybody's back, including Harold, the mummy, and his girlfriend, Rose. Yeah, they call her Rose, right? They called her. Come on. Yeah, Rose. They named her. The kids named her Rose. Or obviously her. Harold and Rose are not old ancient Egyptian names, so yeah, it's it's them, because basically the mummies don't speak in clear, you know, English words. Strangely enough, they understand those English words. It's part of the magic, just like the fact that they understand English. They can dance like maniacs to basically a DDR type dance floor machine game thing, and yeah, it's a weird little fish out of water story. The mummies are in the modern day universe, and they're in love with each other, and yeah, it's Halloween. So you can't really just don't overthink this. Honestly, if you're the type of person who's going to be like, well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That's not logical. Why would they understand? Yeah, how do they eat all that pizza? They're corpses. They're dead. Like, yeah, there's no digestive system. They had their brains pulled out through their noses when they were mummified. It's a kind of thing. First of all, don't tell children all that while they're watching this. It will upset them. It will be very unsettling. Um, but yeah, it's you just go with it. Just go with it and have fun, and that's what this is all about. It's silly. It's goofy. It has a certain level of tension and not horror. Little kids can still enjoy this if they're not put off immediately by the look of the mummies. Well, even the female mummy, Rose, they don't make her look goofy or scary for the most part. She has just weathered skin underneath the bandages. You see her eyes, and she looks alive enough. Harold has this weird underbite and crazy teeth, but that's part of his comedic look, because he reacts to everything in exaggerated, silly ways that would endear himself to children. More so than scare them, and that's something that's covered in the first film. In this one, they have to bring back Harold and Rose when they discover that this guy right here, Sobek, is out to find them first, because Harold took Rose from him many centuries ago before they died, and Sobek is looking for revenge because yeah, it's what happened. When the moonlight hits your amulet, you then seek revenge. So, this all takes place. It takes place in a town. It could have been Halloween Town, but I guess I didn't want to tie that in. Are all the towns like in Washington State or Oregon, like the Northwest, all like Halloween? Actually, you know what? Halloween Town, is it in New York? Or is the West Coast? I'm thinking it's West Coast. I think it's in Washington, but it's not Halloween Town. It's like Rockport, Washington, or something. And the whole town is just very Halloweeny. It's where what's her name, Amy, the lead girl in this, she grew up, and she's heading back there to to have her dad get married to a man that they met on Halloween. So there's a wedding involved in this, and this, by the way, this movie is very LGBTQ plus positive. Did I just plus the positive? Positive. It's it is very LGBTQ friendly. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, there's rainbows throughout this. Yeah, there's not so subtle rainbows throughout the entire film. In some costumes, there's flags, there's T-shirts with a subtle rainbow on it. So everybody is LGBTQ friendly. If that scares you, well, sorry to say that the world has left you behind. So, bye. Yeah, this is Disney Plus, and yeah, it's everybody's welcome here. Everybody's loved. So yeah, it shows not just a love between two men and how they get married, and Amy is she's a teenager, but she's in charge of getting a party together for them, and collecting their rings in a themed box and all sorts of stuff. She's really worked up to the point where she is really, really intense about all this. So she doesn't sleep a whole lot. But yeah, that's her story. Then we got Gilbert. He used to be the scaredy cat in the first film. He was scared of everything, and now he's like a daredevil. He tries to do everything scary, and he's but he's kind of overcompensating now. So there's a little bit of danger there. At the same time, he's also gotten a stronger relationship with Amy. They're really closer buddies, which leaves Marshall, the other boy in the group. He is feeling a little jealousy, like he's feeling left out of the loop, like he's a third wheel. And so yeah, there's a little bit of tension between the trio, and they work through it over the course of the story. It's they butt heads, and yeah, it's something that fleshes out the story of the characters more than just, hey, wacky mummies, So it rounds out the characters. So yeah, I'm not going to say that this is going to be a life-changing movie. That this is like a really great deep movie. No, it's not. It's not. But it's fun. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be for kids. It's not meant to be like a real indie thinker for the adults in the film crowd. It's no. Somebody, a bunch of people were hired to make a fun Halloween film for kids. Writer, director, actors, key grips, and they did a great job. So if it's the kind of thing that you have kids and you want good fun Halloween movies that maybe hey, following the tradition of the Halloween Town movies and Bride of Boogedy or Hocus Pocus, you have another series, a two-parter so far that I imagine there might be a third part. I don't think I saw anything indicating during the credits at the end that there would be a tease for a third one, but as long as these kids don't grow up too quickly, which I imagine there was a reason why they were like, oh, this one was successful, people really like that one, let's do another one real quick before these kids just blast their way through puberty and they're suddenly 45, or they look 45, or who knows, they might be 30 already. I have no idea. But so yeah, there's it's a big battle between former friends who knew each other, and there's a bit of fuzz, who knew each other, and will it cause them to come to blows? And I'm talking about the mummies, not the kids. And the kids sort of see themselves in that. There's a little bit of a parallel there. It's not, like I said, it's not a thinker. It's not really overly complex, but it's, like I said, it's meant to be fun, and that's what it is. I did want to go, well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I wanted to be that guy for a little bit, but I'm just like, no. Why is that mummy dancing? Why is it? How do they know how to dance like that? And how do they know how to serve popcorn and cotton candy? Like, did you spend 40 minutes to training? Was there a training process to train? They get the mummies to help out the dad's wedding party, like to serve popcorn. it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And if this was a real horror movie, yeah, you wouldn't want some corpse handing you popcorn. That would be really freaky. And by the way, the fact that this is a Halloween, it's during Halloween, but it's in a town that overly celebrates Halloween. Nobody looks at these mummies twice. They figure they're just people who are in costume who are really dedicated to their characters. Like they're just immersed and they're not talking, they're just grunting and oh, you don't want to give me a tip? Well, it's just included anyway. That's a great costume you've got there. Oh, you're not going to talk to me? Well, you know, that's understandable. You're a guy who's playing a mummy, so yeah, it works out. It's all right. It's if this was done somewhere else and these mummies were in public and it wasn't Halloween, it wasn't a town that was celebrating Halloween. By the way, they all drive to this town with Buzzy driving her hearse to a hotel they're staying at, which is ultra Halloween themed. Like everything is Halloween themed. It's called the Karlov, not Karloff, but Karlov, who once played the Mummy and Frankenstein, and it just Boris Karloff is a classic Universal Monsters icon. So yeah, they didn't call the hotel the Karloff, but the Karlov is close enough, and that's an obvious nod to the classic actor. But yeah, I don't know how many times I can say this is just good fun. So yeah, check it out. Add it to your Halloween party rotation for the gang. Kids will appreciate it a little bit more than adults, but even so, as an adult, it doesn't talk down, and it's not too, you know how a lot of times kids movies are just so far separated from any kind of logic or actual fun. It's just sort of like, here's a bunch of noises and things that kids might like, and then as an adult, you're just left out in the cold, just going, what is all this? Just understand that in 20 years from now, when this is a Bride of Boogedy or a Halloween Town type classic on Disney Channel, it's all the stuff like let's make something for Instagram, or they don't say Instagram, but let's do a video feed of our scary adventures. It's going to look so dated. It's going to look so very dated. In fact, there's one point where Marshall goes, I can't believe you guys are doing so much for this video for the school paper. Well, one, that is a really outdated term. Are there school papers anymore? And how do you do a video for the school paper? I think it's just an outdated term for the school website, and they didn't want to say school website. I don't know, but yeah, it's gonna, these kids watching it now, they're gonna grow up and they go, I remember that when I was a kid. I really enjoyed it, and wow, people used to hold phones to film things. We just use our eye implants now. That's what our kids are doing. So yeah, Under Wraps 2. Check it out. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 18. Down to the bottom of the list. This one, I'm not sure if it's still on here. You know what? I'll be back if it isn't. But we saw the Squeakquel, I think. The Squeakquel isn't on anymore, but you can know what this is. It's Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah, it's the first movie. We saw one of the sequels already, I believe, but this is the original one, and because I think it came over from Fox. These things come and go. I don't know if it's still on here, but if it's not, I'll come back in a second and tell you what we're going to pick next. But for now, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you then tomorrow.